Good morning. My name is Chef Tig. You can call me Noah. This is the Suboptimal Cooking Show, episode 9. As you can see, I'm a bit of a mess today. Went shopping this morning because today was payday and need to get things for cook for you fine folk, cook for the house, and I haven't quite gotten everything put away. That's why I'm a little late this morning. Hope everybody's doing well though. So just bear with me. This is a good amount of food. This isn't even all of it, but I spent about $200 on groceries today. I got a full cart at Aldi and like a few things at Hy-Vee. Eggs are running on average $6 a dozen right now. Kind of blowing me away. So of that $200, a full eighth of it, $24 of that was eggs, because it sucks, but we use a lot of eggs in this house. Now we got 4 dozen. I got 4 dozen eggs. I was only able to get 2 dozen at Aldi, and then I bought another 2 dozen for roughly the same price at Hy-Vee. Luckily, they were about the same price. Got stuff to make all kinds of things. Morning, Rosa. And then I did splurge a little bit for Joy. She's in the shower right now, so she can't hear me. But I did buy a case of Peach Knee-High, her favorite soda. So she's got a migraine. Hopefully that'll at least help make her feel better. I did also spend a little bit of extra on some meat today, with it being so close to St. Patrick's Day. Corned beef briskets and corned beef tips are all on sale right now. Normally this goes for $4.89 a pound. I got it for $3.50 a pound. So this is about a 4.7 pound corned beef brisket. I got it at Aldi. We're not cooking this today, only because it takes about 5 hours to cook, and we do not have that kind of time on stream, unfortunately. So that's going in the fridge. I restocked some pantry staples. I got another thing of flour, and yeah, well, I cook it. I don't do my corned beef in a boil. I roast my corned beef. Kind of a mid-level roast, and it's really, really good that way. I much, after having corned beef a number of ways throughout the years, I much prefer roasted corned beef to boiled corned beef, just as a personal preference. One of the other fun things I got was Aldi had these. These are their house brand Love and Fresh. Yeah, I mean, yes, low and slow on a bake. These are their house brand Love and Fresh sourdough rye wraps. So we're gonna do some fun. I think we'll talk about cooking a corned beef and doing that, and then we'll show off like a Reuben wrap next week on the show. Put one of my eggs away. Here you got some spinach, nice. What did Kiri think of the spinach pie? I got some dark chocolate chips. I got some butterscotch chips. They had butterscotch chips at Aldi. So that was cool. Today, guys, just again, I'm putting some stuff away. I'm getting things a little organized here. We're going to be making pantry meatloaf. Basically meatloaf out of meat and then things that are typically found in your pantry. And we'll show you how to introduce some extra vegetables to that and kind of zhuzh it up a little bit, if you will. Pantry is full of towels right now, so I don't always have room for everything. I need these out. This can go in the sink. So yeah, suboptimal start today, guys. I appreciate you working with me and sticking with me here. We're gonna get a few things done and cleaned up, and we'll talk while we do that instead of having our coffee. I already had my coffee this morning. Understood. And again, it's not for everybody, but I really liked it. I still have leftover spinach. I may make more pies with. Honestly, it is getting dark outside. It may rain today. Or whole milk Greek yogurt. I'm going to be doing some more of those flatbreads I showed you guys on one of the early episodes that we did. I saw a really interesting. We went to dinner last night to celebrate some stuff that's happening in our lives, and on the tapas bar that the place we went to has, they had a beet hummus. It was like a bright red hummus. It was really tasty, kind of sweet because of the beets, obviously, but it was really interesting. Quite interesting. All right. We're gonna put this stuff on the stove. We're gonna wipe down the counter, and then we're gonna get started on our food here. So, bottom of my egg carton felt wet. I was a little concerned there for a second. Let's talk about pantry staples for a minute here, guys, and things that, I keep in my pantry, and I think you guys should keep in your pantries to kind of make, to always have and be ready to prep your food. And these are, this is something that we haven't discussed yet on the show, and it's something that I don't think gets discussed enough as people are being brought up and as you're developing your household for the first time. Like, this is something you kind of gotta learn. And so there are refrigerated pantry staples, and then there are dry pantry staples. To me, I mean, things like flour, sugar, salt, pepper, garlic, powdered garlic is a pantry staple for me. Ketchup, mustard. Let's see. Pasta and canned tomatoes are pantry staples that I think everybody should have. And I think the doorbell just rang. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 moment. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, folks. Had a delivery come in and the dog goes nuts when the doorbell rings. Yeah, stove full of food. Oil and vinegar are good ones. Soy sauce is a good one. Tahini is a good one. A good basic pasta sauce is something you want to keep. Cocoa. There's really, I mean, it sounds like a lot, but these are things that'll last you quite a while. These are things that are going to last quite a while in your pantry, and you buy them in quantities that will last, and it's worth spending your money on stocking up on these things. And once you have established your pantry staples, it makes your life of adapting your food a lot easier. The other big pantry staples that are kind of costly but well worth it are your spices. I have a whole cabinet just completely full of spices over here. Various things from, you know, crushed red pepper, white pepper, black pepper, oregano, garlic, onion, which I'm actually out of and forgot to get today, parsley flakes, tahini, just Old Bay, seasoned salt. Once you establish your baseline in your house and just kind of maintain it as you start to run low, you're going to be able to do a lot more with your food. And I get it. I understand that a lot of these things are kind of expensive right now and kind of hard to get started, but it's well worth spending your money on your pantry staples. To get your baseline set. Hello. I don't know if you guys can see her, but Balunky is sitting on the chair right there, kind of chilling, as usual. Counter. So, I mean, is there any, I mean, I'm sure I'm missing things. You know, and there's extras that you could, you know, that are for us, that for me are pantry staples that you don't have to keep if you don't want to. Things like a white wine and a red wine in a box. Like, the stuff keeps for freaking ever, and it's great to have for just adding to sauces, adding to stews and things like that. We're going to do a full episode on this at some point very, very soon about where we go over the staples. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit as I was cleaning up here. We're going to start on our meatloaf today. This is kind of what I call a pantry meatloaf. It's going to use a lot of those canned products and few staples. Now, for my meatloaf, generally, I like beef. That being said, the price of beef is quite a bit right now. I bought this pack of ground beef at vanilla is a very expensive seasoning. It absolutely can be. I bought this ground beef at Aldi today. This was about $5 a pound. $4.99 a pound, and then I bought some ground chicken as well, and this was about $3.25 a pound, so considerably cheaper, but it'll help us stretch our meatloaf. Now, when I'm doing meatloaf, one of the things I like to put in there are add in some vegetables and kind of make it a little healthier, a little heartier. And I'm going to go ahead and start a pan on the stove, about medium heat right now. And we're going to cut up an onion. We're going to saute that onion. We're also going to get some broccoli and saute some broccoli in there. My lighting is pretty terrible today. I do apologize. It's a little dark in here today, so just bear with me. So let's get our meat. We're gonna get our meat into the bowl. Just drop that in. Chicken. My ground beef does have a little corner I can just open this up at. I can cut it open. I probably should just cut it open. Stop wasting time, chef. And then, yeah, some nice ground beef. They did also have frozen ground beef at Aldi today. I was looking at prices to relay to you guys. The frozen ground beef was about 70 cents less. I was not going to get it that cheap. Normally, when I'm streaming, guys, I have a lot of sunlight coming in, and my lights are usually pretty bright. I got to get some new light bulbs. I got to get some new lighting in here in general to kind of help. I'm glad the showering and the Excedrin helped, my love. Really, really glad. Got some sweet onions here. We're gonna see, for 2 pounds of meat, let's go ahead and do 2 onions. Well, we'll do 1 sweet and 1 red. We'll do 1 sweet onion, 1 red onion, yeah. Now you're just shaky. Not good. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my oven on. These over here. Get my oven on to about 350. Ooh, hearing that thunder. Put that in the corner here. Have our Santoku knife, that nice Japanese knife I like to use. And when we're doing onions, guys, I'll show you how I like to do onions. So we're going to cut, you have your root end here and your kind of top end here. We're going to cut the top end off very, very thinly. And then we're going to cut the onion in half. Okay? Get our papers off. We're going to come in here and we're going to take that first layer of the onion off with the root, with the paper, because that tends to be kind of tough. Now I'm going to start saving all this because we're going to also be making some stocks soon. So any vegetable scraps I have are going to start going into this bag to go in the freezer. We can make vegetable stock or add it to a regular stock. So we're going to take all this first layer off, and all that's still good to use for stock. Cut the tail end of that one off, throw it in there. And then for my onions, guys, I like to do this kind of simply, especially for sauteing and stuff. I'm going to cut these straight down in strips right here. We're going to turn and we're going to come around the onion from here in kind of like a rainbow pattern. So slicing, just angling your knife. You can turn the onion ever so slightly to finish it off, and you get a nice easy dice on that. It's quick. You're not trying to slice this way to get by your hand. It's not needed. There's one onion. And again, what I like to what we're doing here is we're going to pre-cook our onions and pre-cook a lot of our vegetables, because while they will cook in the meatloaf, you don't want them releasing a ton of that water and stuff in there, make your meatloaf soggy. You want a moist meatloaf, nice. You just don't want it overly so. So again, removing that first layer of onion, saving it for our stock. tail end of the onion off. Slice it down the line. And then again, we're always using our hook hand, our claw hand, pressing the knife against that, keeping our thumb back. Put our cameras over here so you can see what's going on the stove, keeping our vegetables back to the side. Again, working a little suboptimally today because we're running a little behind. Little oil in the pan. Bring it over the table, swipe those onions right into the pan. Hear that nice sizzle. Toss them a little bit. We're going to keep that on low heat. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a bunch of the other vegetables that we want in there, and we're going to get them ground up using our food processor blender. Our food processor or our blender. You can do this by hand, but for time's sake today, I'm going to be using the blender. I got some baby carrots I need to use up here. We're going to use some baby carrots. We got some broccoli that needs to get used, so we're going to use some broccoli. Are they really that? They hit 63% this morning? Very nice. So we're going to just drop some broccoli into the food processor here. Good, nice big handful. Our onions. Drop our carrots in. Got a whole bunch of carrots. I want to use these up. They're not bad. They're just getting a little dry, so get those in there. Cover that up. I forgot to get dried onion, and I forgot to get butter. Power on. I'm gonna do this back here today, guys. I'm not moving it up. Just know that I got my blender back here, and you're gonna hear it for a second. Okay. Show this off to you guys. Oh, because I'm tight. Jersey Joe's, good morning. And so we have our nice fine vegetables here that's about the same texture as our ground meat and about the same size as our onions, maybe a little bit smaller. Toss our onions a little more. Get all this into the pan. Go. How are you today, Jersey Joes? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Save this for a little bit later. Might need to use that a little bit later as well. Hang on to that. We got a whole bunch of veggies in here now. And that great onion smell in here. I'm going to get a little bit more oil on this. cooking this down. Great. While that's going, hey, that Ninja blender you get at Costco is pretty good. Just moving. I'm gonna crank the heat, get that going. Alrighty. Get some seasonings in there. I'm gonna get a whole bunch of garlic because I don't have any fresh garlic, so we're just gonna load up a little bit of garlic powder into the veggies. We're gonna do a lot of our seasoning here, so that once it goes into the stove, into the bowl, it's ready to go. Good to go. Onion, a little bit of oregano, or sorry, garlic, a little bit of oregano. I'm gonna put some seasoned salt in here. A little bit in here. A little bit on the meat over here. Fresh ground black pepper as well. A little bit on the meat. Now, at 50 cents an egg, we're still going to use eggs on this. Crack 2 eggs into the bowl with the meat. About 1 egg per pound. I think I'll actually do 3 just to be safe. Egg out there. Ooh, these eggs are a little frozen. Interesting. This is sauteing down really nicely, guys. It smells heavenly. All that great vegetable smell and flavor. Nice oniony, garlicky. We got our meat and eggs in the bowl. We've got our veggies sauteing over there. I'm gonna get our secret ingredient. Now this is something I learned working in a cafe a number of years ago, and I think it's a fantastic thing. Secret ingredient, guys, is not breadcrumbs. We don't put breadcrumbs in our meatloaf. We put oats. And this gives you a little heavier nutrition because the notes are better. And it also does a great job of absorbing and holding in moisture and giving you that really, really luxurious meatloaf. Now what I do is I blend these up just a little bit to pulverize them, kind of make like an oat flour, a little chunkier than that. But this way you're not just seeing whole chunks of oats in the end product. Grab our blender back over. And we're probably going to do about a cup of oats. For a 2-pound batch, we'll start with about a cup and a half. See where that gut takes us. Again, take this over to the blender. Pulse that up a little bit. Give a mix on our veggies. You can see they're cooking down, releasing all that water as steam in the pan. I'll blend these up a little bit finer. Okay. Show you what you're looking for, guys. Kind of like an instant oatmeal texture. So there's still some oats in there. We're gonna get that all mixed in. Scrape down the blender, get everything out of it. And you can see, guys, over on the stove here that this is really cooked down. I mean, it when it started, it was kind of up here. It was up here, kind of full on in the pan. It has kind of very much decreased to about 50% of where it started. Okay. We don't want to put this hot into the pan there, because we don't want to kill our meat. We don't want to cook the meat right away and cook those eggs right away. So I'm just washing out a bowl real quick. All right. Get another bowl on the prep table. We're just gonna get all this into here. Woo! Fogging up my glasses. Get off the stove for now. Gonna spread this out inside the bowl so it cools down a little faster. We can even toss this in the freezer for about 3 minutes, 5 minutes, just to get it cooled off. Also in the freezer for a minute. Start mixing up our eggs and our meat here with a paddle. I don't love the feel of raw meat personally, guys, so I tend to do it with a paddle. I don't tend to do it by hand unless I have gloves. And I'm out of gloves right now. Another thing I need to buy. So gloves are not a bad thing to keep in your house. They're just really helpful, and you can, if you go to your local Harbor Freight, you can get nitrile gloves for like maybe $4 or $5 a box, where they're like 16 to 20 bucks if you buy elsewhere, honestly. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's talk about our next dish already, guys. Keep things moving today. We're going to be making couscous salad, which is you cook the couscous and chill it down. Couscous, right here. This is Rice Select Pearl Couscous. You can buy You can buy your local brand. You can buy Rice Select, whatever you like. Just looking for the large pearl couscous. This stuff probably, you know, like, this is not quite, it's a little finer, a little heavier than rice kernel. So you'll see. You should be able to, there is also super fine couscous. I don't recommend that for this kind of salad, but you can do it. If it's all you got, use what you got, as always. So we are going to toast this. This is couscous. What is couscous? Couscous is a pasta. It's a Mediterranean pasta that was kind of made by dough. Kind of gross how it was originally made, but the dough would build up on people's arms, and then they'd rub it, and it would pearl off and kind of come off into these little pearls. Kind of weird. Again, not how it's made anymore, but that's how it was made in ancient times. Go figure. Well, at least that's what I was told anyway, so who knows. All right. Couscous, you want to make this, you want to make your couscous pretty much according to the directions on the package. So for 1.5 cups of water to 1 cup of pearl couscous, they say butter or olive oil and salt is optional. We're going to put those in. But what we're going to do here is we're going to do 1 cup of pearl couscous to 1.5 cups of water. We're going to do it in our saute pan, actually. Let me show you how this works. Pan wiped out from our veggies earlier. Now you can do this in a pot, you can do this in a lot of different things. I like doing it in a saute pan because I toast the couscous first. We get some really good flavor by toasting that couscous first. So we're gonna get the heat back on. Get out our olive oil, if I can remember where I put it. There it is. Extra virgin olive oil. Gonna put about teaspoon and a half in the pan. Medium-high heat. Measure out 1 cup of couscous. Now this stuff does puff up quite a bit, so 1 cup is a lot more than you think it is. Kind of like rice that way. Makes a nice rabbit sound. I really like this stuff. It's been a family staple for a number of years. Just the couscous in general, not necessarily the pearl couscous. But this is, the oven is set for the meatloaf. It's at 350. And I gotta grab my loaf pan here. Warming up that oil so it flows nicely in the pan. See that? It's nice and flowy, not sticking as much. I'm going to drop that couscous right into the pan. We're going to put that back on the heat. Leave it for a minute. Wooden spoon. Give it a nice stir. It's going to absorb some of that oil. That's okay. We want it to absorb some of that oil. And we want this to toast. So keep it moving. I got this on medium heat right now. I'm going to crank this up medium high. Olive oil spray. We're going to spray our loaf pan. 5-minute mark. Oh, from the vegetables. Thank you for the reminder. Just gonna check our couscous, give it a little toss, and you will start to see it browning up little by little. You got to keep an eye on it. You got to keep a close eye on this. We're gonna get our vegetables out of the freezer. They're still kind of warm, but not burning hot anymore. It's not going to cook our meat, so that'll be good. We're going to go ahead and drop all of our veggies into the... They're still a little steamy, but it's okay. Drop all of our veggies in there and get these mixed into the meatloaf. Couscous. Toss. You can already see, if you look, the little toasted bits in there. That's good. Little toasted particles on them. It's good. Keep it tossing. And you can actually toast any kind of pasta, interestingly enough, not just couscous. You can actually oven toast your pasta for a roasty, nutty flavor. Kind of makes it kind of interesting. You can do it with penne, you can do it with spaghetti, you can do it with just about any pasta before you cook it. Okay, meatloaf is looking pretty good. I'm going to grab my measuring cup here. I'm going to measure out 1.5 cups of water.
Can you do that for me? Are you sure about your plan? This fight is for the future of humanity. You cannot tell the difference between your life and virtual reality.
That around a little bit. Back to the couscous. There we go. You see it getting a little smoky off of the thing. And now we've got that color we want on the couscous. See, it's nice and getting nice and brown. A little bit all over. Water in the pan. Back on the heat. Low heat. If I'd remembered to wipe this down before, I would have been a little bit more optimal in my life, make my life a little bit easier. I got my lid for my pan. I'm going to cover that. Low heat. Let that go. Bear with me a second, guys. So that's going to be about 8 minutes while we simmer this on low heat. I do want to pull my vegetables, the rest of my veggies off the stove. Yes, thank you for the drink water reminder. Pull the rest of this off the stove a little bit. And I'm going to get a saute pan out. One more saute pan. I'm going to get this on the stove. What we need to do is we need to test our meatloaf mix before we cook it. Because it does you no good to cook your meatloaf and have the flavor not where you want it. And guessing is not the best. So I'm going to take a small piece of this meatloaf mix. And get our saute pan on, and we're going to cook the meatloaf mix and taste it, just to see how our seasoning is. If it needs more salt, pepper, garlic, whatever it needs, check on that. Shift the couscous around just a little bit. All right, check our pan. Not hot yet. You want to put, if you're checking a pan, you put your hand over the pan, not touching it. Just feeling for the heat coming off of it. It's not there yet. You can also use water in the pan. So what we're looking for is we want the water to bead up and kind of dance around the pan. A little bit of water in the pan. Nope, it's just kind of disintegrating, so it's not ready yet. That with a measuring cup as well. Pour a little bit in. Yeah. You don't want it to just hit and boil away. You want it to kind of sizzle and sear. There we go. So what you're looking for is when you pour water in the pan, you're gonna see it kind of dancing around and skirting around like that. That means the pan's hot enough. Some meatloaf in there. Should have sprayed that first. It's all right. Suboptimal as usual. Olive oil in there. Fry that up. A little bit of color on there. Make sure this is cooked through, especially since there's chicken in here. Gotta make sure this is cooked through. Press it down, just get it cooked as quick as possible. Not quite there yet, almost. Down. Now, I also sometimes do burgers like this. I'll mix up a burger mix like this, or mix up the meatloaf mix, and then I'll make it into burgers and cook the burgers on the grill. I do that typically with only beef, not with chicken, but they make really, really fun burgers. Really, meatloaf burgers can be a kind of fun meal as well. Holding together nicely. Almost there on the seasoning. Needs a bit more salt, a bit more pepper, a bit more garlic. So, grab pure salt, kosher salt, coat it with some salt. Get our ground black pepper. Hit it with ground black pepper. Hit it with a bunch more garlic. Stove is still on, pan is off. We're gonna get the pan back on the heat because we're gonna do another cook test on this until we like it. Mix that all in real nicely. Cook off another piece here. Couscous is coming along nicely. Give it a little swirl so it doesn't burn on the bottom. Couscous should be kind of dry once it's done. Got our spoon here. Let's check the couscous. Getting there. Kind of individual. It's swelled up a whole bunch. Give it a little mix around. Still steaming, still going. We're gonna get that lid back on there. Again, low heat. The meatloaf mix we're testing here. Apologize if my energy's not super up today, guys. It's been kind of a funky day. I'm trying to just do a nice chill stream. So typically, no. The answer is basically no. You can add more of everything else and increase the amount you're making. There's really no way to remove salt. This is why you put a little bit at a time and test. Put a little bit at a time and test. This is always why you want to be tasting your food and doing what we call progressive seasoning, which is seasoning a little bit at a time. I would rather under-season, and I would always rather under-season it, even for the end product, for people to put a little bit of salt on it, you know, when they're eating their food, than to over-salt it and have it just be inedible. Got an ad break in about 5 minutes here, guys. Once we get our seasoning to where we want it on the meatloaf, we're going to take a break, and then we will talk more about the couscous salad. Let's see if there's anything else we feel like cooking today. That's done. Give it another taste. It's much better. Good vegetable flavor, but not overwhelmingly. Needs a little something though. I think we're gonna put a little, give it a little zing. Add some Worcestershire sauce to this. Give it a little bit more depth of flavor. I can find my Worcestershire. Oh, it's back here somewhere. Hello, hello. Is there anybody out there? Well, let's put it in the fridge. Did I put it in the fridge? put it in the fridge. So if you want to stretch the meat, you can always add more vegetables and more of the oats. Kind of make a larger meatloaf and bulk it up. We're using oats instead of breadcrumbs to stretch it. Hey, Avac. All right. Couple dashes of this Worcestershire sauce in here. Mix that in. The Worcestershire will help give it a meatier flavor as well. Yeah, a lot of people use breadcrumbs in their meatloaf. Like I said earlier, guys, I use oats. I just think they give a better nutrition and better flavor. You can overwork the meat. It takes a lot to overwork the meat. Honestly, as long as you're just mixing it for tasting or for integration. But it... One more go. And again, guys, you know, this is why we taste, and this is why we season and go, and season and go, and season and go. Because we want to make sure that it's right where we want it before we cook it. Checking the couscous again. That is done. Couscous is done, so we're going to turn that off. Break it up a bunch. Let it set. Take it off the heat. That needs to cool down. Alright guys, this did take a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. We are going to run 3 minutes of ads and be right back. So get up, stretch, hydrate. We'll see you in 3 to 5. Suboptimal Cooking Show will be back. Welcome back, folks. Hope you're doing good so far. Just refilling my drink today with something Joy doesn't know we have yet. My favorite sodas and hers. Oh. Fill up my cup with a little bit of that. We did a taste while we were gone. The meatloaf is right where I want it, so we're going to go ahead and fill up the meatloaf pan. I greased this pan really well, so we're going to pack all of this in here. And get it wrapped in foil and put into the oven. Squish this all in right at the end. No, we're not gonna talk about that. I have some good news that happened yesterday, guys. I'm not ready to talk about it for another week or two. Just know that some good stuff is coming down the line, and I'm just washing out our bowl over here real quick that we had the meat in. Nice soapy water, hot soapy water. Get all the particulates out and wash it down really good and rinse it out. Because we're going to use the same bowl for our next dish, our couscous salad. Not walnut. Alright. Our meatloaf packed in nicely. Okay. And we're going to use some tin foil on the top. Reynolds wrap out. Not sponsored. Hashtag. And I'm going to grab. Hey kitty, or hey panda, how's it going? Hi kitty, hi panda, hi everybody. We're gonna take our tin foil and we're gonna spray it down with some pan spray real quick. So that way this doesn't get stuck to the pan. Get this in the oven. This should take about half hour, 45 minutes or so. Set our timer for 45. And that'll be our dinner probably tomorrow night. Okay. Got the cooling down couscous here. Not burn the counter, shall we? And this is all good. See the nice toasted brown color of it. Get that into the bowl. That'll cool down a little bit more as we prep our other ingredients. Now this is kind of a chop and go salad. So we will be kind of just adding things to the bowl. As we do them, I'm going to push the couscous to one side. And grab some vegetables. This is a vegetable heavy salad. I got some nice miniature cucumbers right here. We got some baby peppers that I like to use for this. I'm gonna grab, let's see, these are small red onions. I'm gonna use one red onion for this. We can taste and see if it needs more later. We're gonna need lemons. We've got tomatoes. And we've got artichoke hearts. Two things of quartered artichoke hearts here. And we can add the artichoke hearts first. We just drain these out in the sink. Throw these on the counter. I'm going to give them a little choppy chop. And with this recipe, guys, if any of this you don't like, don't use it. It's a kind of a open recipe in that this is just like whatever fresh vegetables you like can go into this. So chop up these artichoke hearts. They're pretty easy salad to put together. It's really fresh, really good, really tasty. Keeps well, marinates well for if you leave it for a day or more. Marinates really well. Dice up our onion. Again, onion in half. Scraps in our scrap bag. Peel the first layer of onion off. And to get kind of funky and slimy. Trim the end. Slice straight. Turn sideways. And we're coming around the onion like this. So, slicing. It's a quick way to do an onion. Gives you decent results. You're not getting super fine on this, that's fine. Doesn't need to be super fine for our purposes today. Cora, you want some cucumber? Do you want some cucumber, baby? We love your cucumber. Cucumbers, we cut the ends off, give them to the dog. If we can do some nice tricks over here. Cora, come. Over here. Sit. Dance. Up, up. Cora, over here. Dance. Can we dance? Come here. You gotta do it over here. Dance. No. Over here. Come here. Dance. Nice and crunchy. Good. You're already doing before I think. Can we touch? Good job. I love mozzarella sticks. Welcome in, mozzarella stick. How you doing? Now with these cucumbers, I thank you for the follow, my friend. With these cucumbers, they do have fine enough seeds that I will just cut these up and leave the seeds in it. Bigger cucumbers, if you get like the American cucumbers.
Drink water.
Thank you. I drink right here. You're not looking at what I'm looking at. Got my drink right here. Oh. And once again, I forgot to change my batteries during my break. Just doing that whole suboptimal thing today. Jump scare. Hi. All right, and so like I said, these cucumbers, you just dice these up in quarters, cut them in quarters, and then dice them. Nice chunks. Don't worry, guys, I'm not just throwing things on the floor. I'm throwing things on the floor for the dog. We'll do 3 of these little cucumbers, I think. Here you go. He loves cucumber. He loves her green cucumbers. Okay. Got our cucumbers, our onion, our artichoke hearts, our couscous. We're gonna get some peppers in there next for some nice color. Do one of each color. These we just trim the seeds out of real quick. And again, we've got our veggie scrap bag here. We'll be freezing that to make stock sometime. Cut these in. I like to cut these in half and cut them into slices for this. Yep, I'm saving we save all of our offcuts for veggie stock. We're going to be doing a stock show soon, how to make your own stocks. Let's do another yellow pepper and one more red pepper, I think. Put more in there. In. And then tomatoes. Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. I never hit start on my kitchen timer. That was silly. I got these really nice multicolor grape tomatoes here. You can do big tomatoes. You can do regular red grape tomatoes. I like grape tomatoes for the grape or cherry tomatoes for this recipe, and we're just going to have these. Now, this is a recipe that you can, that our friend Panda there cannot have as written, but you can substitute some ingredients in this. This does use a lemon dill dressing, but you can absolutely do this with a rice wine vinegar dressing as well. Using most of the tomatoes that are here. You see the Cora kind of sneaking around down there. What? What, baby? Okay, almost done. Yeah, about half this container. They're like just a regular, one of those regular small containers of tomatoes. This makes a decent sized salad. Last thing I need is my squeezer here. My pitcher squeezer and my seedless lemons. I like seedless lemons. They're very in vogue right now. Not really that much more expensive than regular lemons, but again, pre-done lemon juice. You can use rice wine vinegar for this. I'm going to use 2 lemons here. I pulled 3 out, but I think I'm only going to use 2 because they're big lemons. Not going to save the lemon peels for the veg stock because that would not be fun. That would not really be that tasty. Grab a bowl. Cut these in half. Juice them really, really well. I like my press juicer here. Squeeze. Get all the right into the bowl. With this, I do squeeze these, and then I come back, double stack, and squeeze again. Get just a little bit more juice out of it that way. Big lemons. Now it occurs to me I also normally would put fresh garlic in here. I don't have any, so we're going to use garlic powder. Gives you a slightly different texture, but it'll work. Another thing we need is our dill. This is a very dill-forward recipe. You can use fresh dill, but dill weed, dried dill weed works just as well. We use a decent, healthy amount of it, probably about tablespoon and a half of dill, and we're gonna let that sit in the lemon juice to rehydrate. Do the same with our granulated garlic. We'll let that rehydrate a little bit. About Teaspoon and a half of granulated garlic. Put some salt in here, a little bit. Probably about 2 teaspoons of salt. And whisk that all up. Very basic salad, very basic dressing on this. Grab our extra virgin olive oil. And we're going to use at least equal parts to our lemon juice, if not more. And we're going to whisk. We're going to try and make a suspension out of this. I don't know if I have enough olive oil here. That's okay. We can switch to a neutral oil. No, I do have other olive oils. Hold on. Here's me. I've got other olive oil. Got that whisked in. Really nice olive oil somewhere. Problem with a stuffed pantry is you can't find anything. Now we'll just use neutral oil, neutral canola oil. We get a lot of flavor off of that, extra virgin olive oil. Adding a little canola oil is going to hurt it. You can do this with rice wine vinegar. You can do this with an apple cider vinegar, would also be really nice. See, it's become kind of nice and creamy. You can also throw this in the blender, blend this up, and it'll suspend a little bit better. You have a stick blender. Stick blenders work great. Just a hand whisk on, honestly, can work just fine. Couscous is nice and cool now. I'm gonna mix this in. This is a nice, vibrant salad, guys. Drizzle that dressing over the top of it. I made a little too much dressing, honestly. Now, the last thing I'm going to add, I have some fresh Del Gioioso, fresh mozzarella pearls, little mozzarella pearls that I really like. These are not that expensive, honestly. They're about $4 or $5 for the package of them. I'm going to break these up, toss them in. Okay. Now you can also put Kalamata or regular or any various olives in here would be good. You can add really any vegetables you like. I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper on this. We're going to taste this and taste it what it needs. And again, the longer this sits, guys, the more it's going to marinate and soak up those all the flavors that are going to meld together. Oh, it's upright and fresh. Use a little black pepper. little bit more salt too. So we're gonna grind some fresh black pepper over the top of this. Lots of it. Lots of fresh black pepper. Mix that around again. Out of tasting spoons. Let me grab some more. You can taste with any spoons you like, guys. I keep disposable spoons for tasting stuff just as an old force of habit. A little bit more salt and we're golden. And this is just a salt to taste kind of situation. Okay. Beautiful. That is done. That is absolutely lovely, guys. There you go. Fresh Mediterranean couscous salad. Great for the summer. Great for just... People love this stuff. It's a really impressive, really fresh salad. You can add it over chopped lettuce. You can do it as is. You can do a lot of things with this. But it just as is, I love it. This is one of those staple recipes that I find works great. I could sit here and eat this all day. But we need to make some lunch to go with our meatloaf, because the meatloaf is going to be dinner. And we got another 15 minutes or so before our first check on that meatloaf. Yeah, amazing but deadly for you. Again, you can do it with vinegar and it would not be deadly for you. This recipe is so good, guys. This is actually a recipe I think we're going to be serving at our wedding. So I'll probably make it with vinegar then, so that one of our bride's people have it. Put this on the back. Just to get it out of the way. What do we want for lunch? Oh, let's see, guys. I don't know. I am puzzled as to what I feel like making. What else I feel like making today, guys. I mean, vinegar is a commonly usable substitute for lemon juice, yes. There are some places you wouldn't want to use it, where more where you're looking for specifically that lemon flavor, as opposed to just the acid. in this dressing, you're looking for the lemon flavor, but you can substitute it for a more flavored vinegar. You could do this. You can also do this with a balsamic. A balsamic vinaigrette would go really well with this salad as well. But you can absolutely use vinegar as a lemon juice substitute in most recipes. Yeah, balsamic would be really good on this, as a matter of fact. It's going to change your coloring on it. It's going to dye everything a bit darker. But, oh. I may just have you guys stick around with me while I make some hot dogs, guys. I'll be honest, I'm not going too crazy today. And I'll show you the way I've been doing hot dogs recently and really, really love. Just stick around with me, hang out. We're just gonna make some lunch and chat. Wait for that meatloaf to finish up. Joy's not a hot dog fan, Kiddo is though. So what I've been doing for my hot dogs recently, I got the Kirkland brand hot dogs. I'm gonna cook about 4 of them right now. Show you what I do with these. Stove going, put this away. Alrighty. Wipe down our knife. What I've been doing with my hot dogs recently, and I really been enjoying, is just I cut them almost all the way in half. We're splitting them down the center and then opening them up so they lay flat. And this may be sacrilege to some people, I don't know. Get them laid flat here. Get our pan hot. Take all of our veggie scraps here, put these in the freezer. And guys, I do want to remind you to join our Discord, follow me on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. Helps me grow the channel, helps you make sure I, be alerted when I post new videos, which is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And yeah, we post our recap videos pretty much as soon as the stream is over. Maybe a little after if I don't remember to do it right away. Try and do it every day. Nice hot pan. Get our hot dogs in. While they're opened up, get them cooking on their grilling side here. I have a weight that I use. You can use another pan. You can just do it without it, but I have a nice weight that I use, my grill weight, to press them down. Counter down. Get out 4 buns as well. This also works great if your buns are not the freshest. But these I just got today. Little chef is, junior chef is sitting just off camera. You can say hi. They won't hear you because I use this mic now. Yeah, I can ask. I got hot dogs for lunch coming up in just a few minutes. What's that? Yeah, if you'd like. Heat turned up on these just a little bit. I grabbed margarine out of the, I don't have any butter, but I do have margarine. Grab the margarine out of the fridge. We're gonna make some nice toasted buns to go with the hot dogs here. I'm gonna do a quick temp check on my meatloaf here, guys. About 90 degrees right now and going up, so that'll be good. That'll probably be about another 20-30 minutes, honestly, so we may have to show off the meatloaf off stream. Flip these over real quick. Not quite where I like them yet, but that's okay. Seared nicely. Excuse me, madam. Out. Nice sizzle going. Yeah, listen to that sizzle. Normally I do this on my flat top my electric it's like a Blackstone, but not quite. Junior Chef is going to join us on stream in a moment. They are going to be wearing a mask. They don't want their identity going out too well. So come on. They can't see you. They can see you in the corner, kind of there. There you go. Here's Junior Chef. Big as they're getting. Yeah. Hot dogs.
Before I go upstairs.
Chat says, hi, Junior Chef. Dead. You can step over that and then under the next one, or I can.
Well,
Oh, okay. Hope everybody's been having a good day. I know it's been kind of a chill. Okay. Hot dogs are just about done. Look really nice. Nice and toasty on the side, on that side. Oh yeah. Nice toasty dogs. Careful, careful. You gotta watch where you're going. Well, you almost walked into the hot pan, so I know you know, but you gotta practice it. Yep, because I like cutting them down the center. And I've been doing something really tasty with them. We got the pan on the stove, we're gonna get a little bit of butter, or margarine in this case. Into the pan. Watch out. Come over here. Get our buns right into that nice toasty butter. I'm going to put the weight on the buns. And these don't take super long, but we're going to get these nice and buttery and toasted. Buttery bun dog. Buttery bun dogs.
like butter with my bread, so
Toast, yeah. Yeah.
Alright, go upstairs.
Buns are almost toasted on the first side. I put a little more butter in the pan. Flip them over. Yeah. Yep. Presses the buns down, it toasts them, it butters them, all those kind of at once. Press off. Junior Chef, come taste this. Well, only way to know if you like it is to try it. Take a bite, chew it and swallow. No, didn't like it. What don't you like about it? Tell me. What? It's sweet? Okay. This leaves our buns toasted on the outside, nice and soft on the inside. Buttery goodness, and with the cut hot dog fits really, really nicely on the bun like that. You want some ketchup on yours? Get the ketchup out. Ketchup for you. Mustard.
Put it on?
Count in a moment. Mustard for me. Where did my mustard go? You mustard. Here, watch out. There's our first timer for the meatloaf. Go ahead and put your ketchup on there, kid. Looking, or your ketchup on, I should say, not mustard. Looking for my mustard. Maybe I did finish that. Oh no, this is the open one.
The one.
Yeah. Here you go. Look at that taste. Tell me what you think of the buttery toasted bun. Might be a little hot. I'm gonna get mine all plated up here. I like my flat buns. Okay.
Yes.
Just leave her alone. It's fine. Promise, it's fine. Not too hot. Look at that. What do you think? You like that?
The bun. Butter makes it really good.
Buttery bun makes it really good. There you go. Go up. We're gonna end for the day, guys. Thank you. We're gonna check our meatloaf first. Hold on. Nice buttery bun dog. I like that. Yeah, we're only at about 105 here, guys. I don't want to keep you hanging for a long time. We'll post pictures of the meatloaf on the Discord once it's finished. I hope everybody has had a wonderful day. Thank you all for coming in. This has been the Suboptimal Cooking Show, episode 9. Let's go ahead and for the Twitch people, we're going to go do a raid real quick. See who's online here. Hopefully the person who I want to raid is online. Womp womp. I will try not to get caught in the raid later. Guys, we're going to take you over to a very good friend of the stream, Fishwaffle 64. They've been a friend of ours for a very long time. I hope you guys have a good one. And we'll catch you on Monday.